And hello, say hello there, TJ.
Hey.
Good, you can be heard, I can be heard. That must mean it is time for the Slam Jam Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Xstreamed YouTube channel. So, we may be joined by some surprise running guests, but we're going to cover some good old-fashioned wrestling. We're going to have some fun. TJ, like I see today, your name is Satnam Singh. Do you want to tell us what that is all about?
Yeah, it's spoilers for Dynamite. Samoa Joe and Minoru Suzuki had an awesome match. Like, I wouldn't say it's one of the best matches ever, but it was pretty awesome for a TV match. And then
I think it was probably Samoa Joe's best match in AEW yet.
It was definitely Samoa Joe's best match in AEW. But then AEW did the most WWE thing ever and debuted this really tall bloke called Satnam Singh. And I'm from India and I had no clue who this guy is. I'm like, huh? Okay. Is he supposed to be a big deal? And then I think it was JR or Excalibur, one of them, said that he is either a former basketball player or a former American football player or a former baseball player, either one of those. So
do you know, like, yes, I did see that. I saw like the clip because I haven't had a chance to catch up with Dynamite properly yet, but I saw the clip of his debut, and I did see Tony Schiavone was like, I know who that is, that's Satnam Singh. And I was like, Tony Schiavone, you don't really know anything like these days. Like, how do you know who Satnam Singh is? Just like you're in the know, you don't know who it is, Schiavone. Oh, Gav, hello, Gav, you're here now.
Oh, good. How you guys doing?
Good. Look, we are live. We got rocking and rolling. We might have a run-in or two along the way, but we were just talking. I don't know if have you seen Dynamite this week?
I've seen most of it apart from the main event.
Oh, well, we were just literally saying a spoiler.
That's all right. I know about it anyway.
Okay, so Satnam Singh, like, does anyone know how tall this guy is? I might fact check it.
No clue. Probably as tall as Omos. I don't know.
That, like, for the WWE versus AEW feud, if we ever get the combined pay-per-view, Omos versus Satnam Singh is what we're all... He's only 26 years old. That's insane.
Oh, wow.
7'3". Isn't Omos 7'4"?
I have no clue.
But then again, WWE billing.
Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, like... I remember, like, El Gigante was legitimately 7'7". They had to say he was 8 foot. It's like, why? Why? Okay, let's just see if it says omosprowrestlingfandom.com. It's like a Wikipedia page. How tall is he here? Oh, he's 27. Oh, that, like, the stats between these two are so close. One, I think the other guy was 26, I said, right? Satnam Singh, 26. Yeah. Omos, 27. This is crazy. 7'3". Omos is 7'3" according to this. I'm sure they said he was 7'4". No, what's that, Gav?
Biggest match ever.
It
With
is.
the great Kali as the referee.
Yeah.
Do you know what, like, but like the Big Show, he's got to be in the back in catering at Dynamite. Just like, what the hell? You know? Like, I'm a legit WrestleMania main eventer. And I've, like, wrestled 3 times here. But, anyway. Yeah, go on.
The title on your...
Yeah, like, I had a fight with Matt Cardona earlier in the day. It's, you know...
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it didn't go too well. I'm not going to lie. Like, I kind of, like, hurt my shoulder. But, I found this here.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm now the NWA World's Heavyweights Champion. So...
The
real world champion, yeah, absolutely. But I just thought, like, you know, I'd just like spruce up the my visage on the show a little bit, you know, just to add a little bit of the bling kind of stuff. But guys, so we kind of like go on.
You know what the funny thing about Satnam is? So I mean, okay, not this guy, but so I know one person called Satnam Singh, but I've never met him. He studies with me at the university, but he never shows up, and we only know him through online classes. I'm like, is Satnam from our university on Dynamite? I mean, for all I know, it might be that guy. We have never seen him. We don't know what he looks like.
Wait, he's
there's
from
a
your
Satnam.
university and you've never seen him? It's not the
No,
same
I'm not
guy.
talking about-
Because if he
I'm
was
not
at your
talking about this
university,
Satnam.
you'd see him.
I'm just kidding. I'm not talking about this Satnam, but there is a Satnam Singh in my university.
Wow.
And yeah, we have never seen him.
Wow.
Okay, so just having a look here, it's got professional wrestling career. It says in 2017, Singh had a workout at the WWE Performance Center. On September 23rd, 2021, he's signed by AEW. So how about that? Wow.
Why though? Like, I mean, I kind of like. So again, I don't think this is a spoiler, but I saw his him having his like run-in with Joe. It was like Joe was doing the whole thing. He couldn't even like push Joe properly. Joe had to. It's like he's trying to push Joe, and then it was very evident that Joe's just falling for him. So yeah, he was bad, almost as bad as Omos.
But you know what? Like, do these massive guys need to actually be that good? Like, I'm going to show you a clip, guys. I put this thing on the Slam Jam TikTok, and it's like, if you haven't seen it, you then see me just talk about it. But just to show you, like, Andre the Giant invented the pedigree. It's like, that's insane, isn't it? So look, you're going to see me talking about it, but then, okay, so I pull the funny face, but then look, Andre the Giant on Antonio Inoki doing a pedigree. That's like insane. So like these giants, that they can innovate as well, TJ.
Yeah, of course, but like, does that work in today's wrestling? It worked a long time ago, but that was the thing with Khali. Vince wanted him to be the next Andre. Didn't work out. Would that work in today's wrestling?
Like, do you know what? Like, the thing is, I think so. Like, I think if you've got like a monster wrestler, I've always like, even if you don't get like a Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels style wrestling match or a Daniel Bryan, CM Punk Ring of Honor Classic, what you do get is the guy who would legitimately be the champion. So if Andre wanted to be the champion and undefeated for 15 years, he could have just chosen to have been. You know, and if the great Khali wanted to be champion, and here's the actual evidence, because when Jinder Mahal was champion and Great Khali did that run-in, Great Khali was just like, I'm the champion, and Jinder had just had to stand there. Because he was like, if he wanted the belt, he couldn't, you know, there was nothing Jinder could have done to have actually got that belt back.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, but I think I would still say the fans nowadays wouldn't just want someone. I mean, there are some big guys that can bump. Like, there are some big guys that can bump. For example, what's his name? Lance Archer. He's pretty big.
Yeah.
AEW, take Luchasaurus. That guy can do flips.
Yeah.
AEW has their set of big guys. And I'm not saying every big guy has to do flips and a lot of flashy moves, but when you see someone who has trouble moving, but I'm sure since this guy played, I don't know, either basketball or football, I'm assuming he's very athletic, or at least...
Yeah, like... No, go ahead, Gav.
Big Show and... Was it Big Show? Was it Kane or Big Show and Mark Henry when they had that technical match on Raw at that time?
Oh, I don't remember that off the top of my head.
They were countering each other's holds and moves and whatnot, and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna try and look that up and check that out later, because I don't recall that at all. But like, I remember like one of the things like in WCW wasn't like the Big Show doing like a moonsault or something, or have I completely made that up? Like Big Show was doing stuff, and people were telling him like, you don't need to do any of this.
That's right, yeah.
You know, but like, okay, so let's jump off the back of Satnam Singh's AEW debut. We may have had this discussion a long time ago. Who is the greatest, or in the conversation of the greatest big guys, like the giants in wrestling? And just to clarify, I was going to say, so we could say like the really tall guys, or super heavyweights, if we want to go down the route of Vader, Yokozuna, you know, Mark Henry, Viscera, any of like the massive like super heavyweight guys. Who is in the conversation?
Shaq.
Who?
Shaq.
Shaq. Well, do you know what? Like, if he'd wanted to be in the wrestling more, he would have been like, if he'd got into wrestling when there was the potential feud with the Big Show, and if he'd stayed around, sort of like crossed over into wrestling like Ronda has, he could have like been a massive star. Like, no pun intended.
Yeah.
I'd say the Big Show.
You think the Big Show is the best?
He's good at talking. I mean, again, he's not the best promo, but he's still good at talking. He can, like, as a kid, when I did not know wrestling was scripted, I never not enjoyed his matches. Like, his matches, and he can be, like, okay, if you take Big Show, Khali, and, I don't know, Omos, out of these people, Big Show would be the most likely to be a champion on his own without a talker.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So, but okay, so to be fair, Carly is from India, Omos is from where? So Big Show has the advantage of he's speaking in English, you know, because even Andre, when you heard Andre speak, it wasn't a great promo, you know.
But it's not just the promo. Even the matches, Big Show, he can move. I would say Big Show can, for a guy his size, he can really move, and he bumps. Big Show bumps for people, for almost everyone. It's not like...
Yeah, but is that a mistake?
Not...
It could be. But, like, do you know what? I'm just going to say Andre. And that was before pre-WWE. If you see his stuff in Japan, where he's, like, really wrestling, he was incredible to watch. But personally, I'd go for Andre.
Okay.
I think it has to be on Andre, and also just because, like, the Big Show, in a sense, was the second coming of Andre the Giant, and in WCW, it was up and down with how they used him, Dungeon of Doom and all this kind of stuff. But WWE, it took them until he, like, turned heel with Paul Heyman and beat Brock Lesnar for them to actually use him as a monster. And it's like, this guy doesn't... Like, Big Show can cut a promo. He is genuinely good at comedy. But it's like, he doesn't need to. And WWE have made this same mistake of thinking that they need to give monsters a personality so many times. When, like, you know, we've mentioned it on the show in the past, but, like, Mark Henry, Sexual Chocolate, it was funny and everything, Mae Young Hand and all that, but when he suddenly got, like, I was about to say his current theme music, but like it was suddenly like the ECW champion and he was just like a killer, it's like, well, this now works. When they were, and we've spoke about this recently, when they were going to bring in Brodus Clay and they were showing like, this guy's a killer, it made sense, and then they swerved it. So whether the Funkadactyls worked or not, it's like they can't just have someone be like a giant and a killer. They have to make the giant kind of like they have to dress them up in a gorilla costume, like El Gigante in WCW came in and they put him in like a naked gorilla costume. Like, what's going on?
You know what's funny?
Aware of Veer. Be very aware.
Be very aware of who?
Veer. I give him 3 months tops.
Really?
3 months.
Oh, do you know, I'm so annoyed. Talking of Veer, earlier, like yesterday, I found face paint, and I found 2 tubes. One was red, one was white, and I just literally wanted to do the thing in the show and just not mention it. I don't know if it's like I have no idea. Someone could enlighten me if it was like a cultural thing, but it's just like, it's such a recognisable weird face paint. But yeah. But yeah, so we've had the debut of Veer. Did you guys see that? Did we speak about this last week? You guys weren't on last week. Okay, let's talk about Veer Mahan. What did you guys think?
I thought it was good. I thought, I was a bit sceptical at first. I was there thinking they're going to mess him up. And then, like, when he came through like that, how he did, I was just like, wow, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Yeah.
TJ, how about you? It was okay. It was okay, I guess. I didn't expect much more, so...
But, like, here's the interesting thing as well. With all of the hype that he had got, it's like he didn't do anything that was like, oh my god, wow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but it's like, again, like, just talking about, like, expectations. Do people need to always come in and do some, like, incredible, flippy, like, high-impact move? Or can they just come in and beat someone up? And that's what he did.
I was going to say, I like the way that and it hasn't really been done since, like 1, 2, 3 Kid, like how he came in.
What? So, do you mean literally? Is it as a jobber that gets an upset over someone?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the point. Have they ever repeated that idea?
Probably Barry Horowitz, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. But that was that was
Santino
like
Marella.
2 years later.
Santino Marella beat Umaga in his first match for the Intercontinental.
But he was dragged out the crowd.
Yeah. Still.
But yeah, I guess, yeah.
Speaking of big guys, it's funny how none of us mentioned Braun Strowman in the conversation.
I forgot him. I'm not going to lie. I forgot his existence. Yeah, he's controlling his narrative.
Yeah. But yeah, Strowman, if he was in WWE or even in AEW, I think Strowman could have been a really good big guy if like, I don't know what he's doing with Control Your Narrative. I can honestly see him go back to WWE in some time. And I think he wants to. He has made it clear. They just don't want to give him the money that he wants. So, but I think Strowman does like have the potential to be a pretty good big guy. He got over. Like, yeah. I mean,
I like how you say, I think he's got the potential, and he actually was the world champion already.
I mean, does anyone even remember? I don't.
Well, he won it because he literally won it because Roman and on the night there was like no audience, and then he feuded with Bray, and everyone has tried to block this out of their mind, basically.
I don't even remember the feuds he was in. The only thing I remember about him is him flipping over a truck and things, because there's another. Him teaming up with that kid on WrestleMania.
There you go.
That's probably the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Braun Strowman.
When I think of him, the first thing I think of is the mixed tag with Alexa. That's about it.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. Like, I just like the thing I think of him is like the train sounds that they added.
Oh yeah.
When he'd start running around, they added train sounds. I don't know, like, gosh. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So let's just give a rundown, see if there's anyone else we forgot. So Andre, like Big John Studd, was about 7 foot tall as well. Who was it? Who else? Like Diesel. Who else is like a?
Diamond Dallas Page is pretty tall.
I think he's about 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah.
Yeah, like so. Scott Hall's 6'7" as well, I believe.
When we're talking about monsters, like big guy monsters, do we consider The Undertaker and Kane?
That's like
look like monsters.
I'll tell you what, like in my head, I kind of consider Kane to fit that mold a little bit more than The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And it might just, and like even though they have to do basically the same moves, it might just be that The Undertaker is that tiny bit more athletic, and he's more about the character. But like, you know, him and Kevin Nash and Sid, they might be a slightly different kind of. They might be like the next notch down, you know, just because I think there's a slightly different formula to them, and maybe the same. And Kevin Nash might fit into that as well, and Crush, and then there was like an era of failed big guys where it was like Matt Morgan, Nathan Jones, and there might have been like Kurgan, and like none of these guys went anywhere. And who was that other one who was in the Oddities? So in the Oddities, there was a guy who... Oh, I'm going to have to look it up. Who was even bigger than Kurgan. Oddities, WWF. Let's see who we have. Oh my god, yeah. Like, he dwarfs... I've got a photo here. He absolutely dwarfs Kurgan. Let's see who it was. So the Oddities... Giant Silver. Giant Silver, who... is 59, so he's probably not going to make a comeback. 7'1". 7'1". How tall was Kurgan? Because I thought Kurgan was tall. Maybe he wasn't. Kurgan is 7 foot. Well, maybe he's just kneeling down in this photo because there is like a head's height between them. But anyway, yeah. So like the truly successful big guys are Andre. Probably the next most successful and famous is the Big Show. But
okay, how about Abdullah the Butcher?
He's so super heavyweight, like, but even then, like, what was he? He was like 400 pounder, 350
categories, really. I think you have to split them. Like, so the super heavyweights, and then you've got the tall guys.
Okay.
Split it really.
Yeah.
To be honest, because like for my super heavyweight, it would be Yoko.
Well, yeah. So like Yokozuna, Viscera. Who else? It's like Bam Bam Bigelow. That's a good one. Vader. I don't think there's really been anyone in this category for a while, has there? Because like nowadays, like especially in like the last 10 years or whatever, when they say about like the bigger guy like this, you are literally looking at Samoa Joe, who would just be dwarfed by Vader.
Exactly, Samoa Joe or Kevin Owens.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not even that big.
No.
Really.
Okay, so in terms of super heavyweights as like the bigger guys that way, did you say you would say it's Yokozuna, Gav?
I think so.
What, more than Vader? Like
I'm just there thinking of, like with the girth.
Earthquake.
There's Earthquake as well.
Yeah.
Good. Just the way that Yoko used to move with that amount of weight, But then again, same argument for Bam Bam with his cartwheels.
Yeah.
I believe he used to be able to do those cartwheels like that seamlessly. So.
Um.
Other guy, Big Boss Man.
Yeah, that's true. Good one. Super heavyweights. Let's see who we've forgotten. Wrestling super heavyweights and 15 wrestling super heavyweights. The first one it shows is Vader, but it doesn't mean he's ranked number 1 on this list. We've got King Kong Bundy. Oh my god, Haystacks Calhoun is just someone I know the legend of. I don't know if I've ever actually watched anything he was in, but I've seen photos. They've put Andre, Big Show. So this is just going by weight. So like people that are like 500 pounders. Yoko. So like in that sense, Kevin Nash isn't like the weight wise. Mark Henry, Bam Bam, Big John Studd, Earthquake, Rikishi. One Man Gang. Kamala, how big was Kamala? I didn't think he was quite that category.
I don't think he was tall. He was more of a.
And then they've got Umaga. I wouldn't say Umaga fits that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
No,
he's again. It's similar to Samoa Joe, just like build wise, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I suppose like when Rosie and Jamal turned up, it was it was that kind of idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Right. Anyway, let's move on. We'll do a couple of fun things because there's been all. In fact, guys, just about WrestleMania. Is there anything you guys want to react to WrestleMania? Just because if you missed it last week, I really liked night 1. Night 2 was a bit more hit and miss. Yeah.
I like night 1 as well. Night 1 was pretty good. Night 2 again.
Like
it was still good, but not as good as night 1.
Like I almost feel like, and we know that they obviously had to have Brock and Roman as the final match of WrestleMania, because like in the past when they made the mistake of not having Undertaker and Shawn like the first time as the main event, they made the mistake of not having Rock and Hogan as the main event, and maybe they could have felt like, it's going to be a mistake not to have Austin in the main event here, but maybe they were a bit worried, in case we need to cut the match short if something goes wrong. And also Brock versus Roman was such a hyped match that I think that was correct to put that there. But Austin and Owens was such a, I was smiling throughout the whole thing.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. I was a bit cringy at some points where like he was there taking the suplexes, especially onto the concrete. It was just
like that was Austin's first bump. Literally, just like they were in the crowd and he took it like a suplex.
So what are you doing?
Yeah.
I was actually impressed with it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I thought Austin. I thought he looked really good. Like when it started off with the kicks, I thought it looked a little bit like weak, and I was like, "Oh, is this what we're in for?" But then they went to the outside. He was literally thumbing his eye. They were like throwing each other into the barricades. And then when Owens tried to get away, and Austin like hits him, and then just drives up the ramp. That was just like, it was so Attitude Era. It was just like going back in time, like the 20 years. It was great.
Owens was probably having the time of his life, if not the time of his career.
Well, do you know
that
what?
was a dream come true.
I saw something over the last few days. I didn't pay too much attention to it, where it said that this match apparently wasn't part of the renegotiation with Owens. But I feel like, how could it not have been? They might have been. I feel like they've got to have been like, look, don't go to the other side. We've got an idea.
I can understand like why he would sign like the contract, him and Sammy, because they're in really prominent roles, and I think they both delivered.
Yeah, and but you know what? It's so weird that those two are so connected, and they always like Sammy is always they've never really run with Sammy as a main eventer.
No.
Which is a shame because I think he could be, and
I think he could.
he's got the character. His character, as it's been like the conspiracy theory and slightly whiny stuff, probably isn't quite main eventer, but he's clearly got the ability to change his character enough to be a main eventer. But yeah, his match though, God's sakes, like every giant mousetrap.
Yeah, it was entertaining. It was entertaining.
I was sports entertained watching that match.
I was sports entertained as well, man. Oh God. Okay, shall we? Go ahead.
Just one thing with Sammy, I think I think the best Sami Zayn, other than his El Generico stuff in the Indies, was his NXT character, the underdog from the underground, the insane in the membrane Sami Zayn. I think when he went to the main roster, they were not gonna let him do that. So he just found out a way to just reinvent himself with this conspiracy. I think at this point, okay, let's face it, both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they are not the youngest of people. They are not. They're on the other side of their career. They're on the later end of their career.
Are they? Like they're like how old is? I think Kevin Owens like 37.
Yeah, but still, like if you were a booker, if you had to like plan the future, wouldn't you book someone who's in their 20s over Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens if they're on the same level?
I would probably like book Christian Cage to go against Kenny Omega. So you know, I wouldn't say that he's that past it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
My idea is that I think Sami Zayn is like, hey, if I can't be a main eventer, I'll just have fun. I'll just do all these comedy acts, and I'll just he's again much like Kevin Owens. He's having the time of his life. If he cannot have a main event against Steve Austin, he's gonna do all sorts of batshit crazy stuff on night 2, just having fun. Again, who can blame him? He's probably getting a huge paycheck. He's having fun.
I was just about to say he's getting paid quite a bit of money. That's like one of the main attractions for night 2 as well. So
yeah,
you got Johnny Knoxville. That's going to bring in all kinds of eyes as well. So
yeah, and also just on the idea of like if they had the opportunity to jump ship, I think they probably made the right choice because when you look at AEW. When you hear that, like a few months ago, there was like the talk about, well, the first 4 world champions went exactly to plan, then you might think if you were like a Kevin Owens, it's like, well, 2 years ago, obviously I was still in WWE, so it just means that if he's doing the long-term booking and sticking to it, I don't factor into this. And when you see that, like, AEW have like, and I think they're even teasing another big announcement. So I'm like, who's this going to be this time? But like, they keep bringing people in, and there are people that are disappearing off TV and not like being seen. Like for a long time, we were talking about like Brian Cage, but now like we can say about Jay Lethal, Keith Lee, people that come in like. If it was a year ago, Keith Lee coming into AEW, he could have been like, you'd been like, oh, he's going to be the world champion. Yeah. And now you're like, is he going to be on TV? And it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. And like a year ago when they were like, it's the big, it's Paul White. And literally that is like the biggest criminal thing. And they brought in Christian, who literally has replaced Marco Stunt. It's just like, and Mark Henry now just appears like this much on the screen to say, it's time for the main event. And that's it.
But to be fair, Mark Henry and Big Show, they were not brought in for primarily wrestling roles. They were brought in for the backstage stuff and helping out with other executive stuff. They were not
Yeah, but like
Christian,
Big
I
Show, they definitely said that he would wrestle like from his debut. And Mark Henry, they did make a thing of like he perhaps has some unfinished business, and that he was going to be like a commentator, and he commentated for like 3 weeks,
yeah.
and like yeah, Christian, I don't know if he's had an injury or what. Sorry, go ahead, TJ.
I agree. I agree.
I was going to say, sorry.
Go on, Gav.
No. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, Ruby Soho. Where's she gone?
Yeah.
She's gone all dark now, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Ring of Honor, and I think AEW desperately needs a roster split, like a brand split. At least Ring of Honor should have their own roster. You can do the occasional crossovers, but for guys like Samoa Joe, who are original Ring of Honor guys, get them to Ring of Honor. Guys like Keith Lee, if you don't have anything for them on Dynamite, have them on Ring of Honor. Have separate rosters. I sincerely hope Ring of Honor does not become what was SmackDown for Raw a couple of years ago when they had won World Championship. I hope that's not what they're headed towards. I think
NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, okay, they could, because Ring of Honor before NXT was a thing. Ring of Honor was sort of the unnamed, uncrowned developmental for all wrestling companies, so they could do that. I think Tony Khan's next announcement next week will be that he has another announcement the following week, which will be he has another announcement the following week. But I think when he does get to his announcement, it's going to be a streaming service for Ring of Honor, and maybe a weekly show for Ring of Honor.
Once he doesn't tweet anything stupid, but yeah.
Oh my god, let's talk about that a second, because this was so weird the other day. He was literally that, like, robots are the anti-AEW. And here's the thing, like, it's such a shame, because, like, I really do love AEW, but, like, just over, like, the couple of years, like, Tony Khan is just showing himself to be, like, slightly a bit of a maniac with some of the things he puts out there. Like, the worst one was when he kind of attacked Big Swole. Now, she had a dig at him, but it's like, you're a billionaire, Tony. Why are you going down to this tit for tat level? And you know,
you signed it off as well. Oh, watch Dynamite tonight.
yeah. And now, literally, like, robots are causing AEW to get bad press or whatever it was.
Have you guys, you know what long time booking is? Have you guys ever watched this show called How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
They had this thing called Robots versus Wrestlers.
What? I don't remember. Okay, so I've seen it. I don't remember it in that much detail.
Called Robots versus Wrestlers, which was at its peak in 2022 or 2023. Here we are. Tony Khan might just give us Robots versus Wrestlers.
Wow, that's horrifying. Okay, awesome. So just like a couple of other things, because we'll move on to like see if there's like other stuff to cover. Anything else from WrestleMania? Do you guys want to react to Cody's debut?
Oh yes. Do you know what? It's so weird. Like a couple of months ago, I was hating Cody. Like, how did he turn it around? Like,
yeah.
Why am I now liking Cody?
I'll give it a couple more months, Gav. Give it a couple more months. Even when he came out on Raw and he was doing the fake crying thing. And it's like, that photo, my father. And I was like, oh, Cody, don't do it again. You didn't learn from last time.
I don't know. I think that was real. That cry.
Mate, he cried like 3 times or something. His voice was just quivering. And like, I remember, because what it made me think of is like the first time I remember that from Cody was he's wrestled Dustin at Double or Nothing. And Dustin's taking off his boots. And he's like, there's a tag team match coming up. And I need my brother. And it was like, oh, and everyone's like, oh, this is wrestling. And he's like, Cody has cried like legitimately in like 10 promos since. Yeah. But no, I've always liked Cody to a degree. There is the whole thing of him in AEW just doing the whole Triple H, Jeff Jarrett, like, I'm in power. But then Cody has said in interviews, it's like, you know, I took myself out of the world title picture and people still hated on me. So it's like, so what am I doing here? You know.
And I think it was the dynamic with him and Brandy as well.
Yeah.
On screen, and it's just like, well, that's now being replaced with Sammy and Taylor, isn't it? So,
Oh my god, yeah. Like, yeah.
That. But I think people, myself included, like Cody more now because so in AEW when he's booked to win, people have these ideas that okay, he's an EVP, he's booking himself to win. In WWE, if Cody does, and they're probably headed that way. If he does win the world championship, it would be Cody going up against this big corporation who have selected champions. Like it's Vince has the final say, and now Cody, he is literally the underdog over here in AEW. When he tries to be the underdog, no one buys that. Over here, like I think that is an advantage that WWE has over any other company is that when you see a Kofi Kingston or Daniel Bryan or Becky Lynch or in this case Cody, you are like okay, if this guy wins, it's what the fans want. In a company like AEW, which is, I think I've mentioned this before here, that AEW as a promotion is the baby face. AEW as a promotion, they're like, we're going to give you what you want. WWE as a promotion, they're the heels. So when WWE does not get what they would want and a fan favorite wins, you have all the more support. A Hangman Page winning in AEW is just them. You know they're going to give us that booking. I don't know who's Cody or who's an underdog in WWE right now. I can't even think of
what
anyone.
in WWE right now. Well, like there's been loads. Like obviously, like Drew for a while, it didn't look like it was going to happen. Big E, we didn't think it was going to happen.
Big E, yeah.
You know, and then they get like WWE. They do occasionally give us stuff. You know, but it is just that because WWE used to be like the baby faces, but they just got into the pattern with Triple H being the world champion come rain or shine, then to Cena being the champion no matter what, to then Brock is just going to wrestle 3 times a year and be champion. And it's because of this, and then like, Goldberg comes back, or, you know, Triple H or Undertaker wrestles once a year at Mania and takes a spot. That's why WWE have got the perception of being the heels.
Let's not forget Roman Reigns as a babyface.
Well, yeah, that was just John Cena all over again. And oh look, then they turned him heel and it fixed it, which they never learned with John Cena. But now John Cena, whenever he comes back, like people, they'll be all over him just because now he's the nostalgia act. So
Well, back to WrestleMania. Though. Two matches, that stick out to me.
Yeah,
is the Seth and the Cody match. That was really good.
Yeah.
And then Bianca
and Becky. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. See, and do you know what? I think Bianca and Becky felt they had something to prove. I really felt, because, like, obviously last year, Bianca main evented night 1. A couple of years ago, Becky main evented when they didn't want her there, and yet she was the main event that year. And now this year, they're like, oh, here's Ronda and Charlotte, which is what they wanted to do that the audience didn't want 3 years ago.
Who loses in the first main event?
Yeah.
Then it's just like, come on, look. You got Becky, who was the winner. Bianca, that's the winner. You've got your
exactly. So I think they were like, let's show them that we should have main evented. And fairness to them, though, I still think, even though they had Charlotte and Ronda, I think penultimate match or whatever, I still think this year should have been Austin and Owens main eventing night 1. So I don't think, but they should have perhaps been on in the Charlotte Ronda spot.
Yeah, of course.
You know, but I completely agree. And my God, Bianca's eye.
Oh yeah, that was nasty. That
one. Oh my God, nasty stuff. What else was I going to say? So, we can't move on from WrestleMania until we have spoken about Vincent Kennedy McMahon and the greatest selling of the Stone Cold Stunner of all time.
Now, is it Linda or Vince?
Do you know what? It has to be. I think Vince has taken Linda's title.
Vince. Yeah.
It has to be. Because, Vince couldn't take it back in the day. I can't remember the last time he will have taken it. But, Vince got so many things wrong on this one appearance. The bit where they played Austin Theory's music and Vince's... like looking around, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, this is good music. That's good shit." And it's like you reacted to the wrong Austin's music.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Austin, like now he's just Theory.
Theory,
Yeah.
yeah.
What the hell? Like he was at Mania with Steve Austin in the ring. Did that happen? And then literally Steve Austin went backstage. Hasn't watched wrestling in a year. It's like, why are you calling this guy Austin? And they're all Vince is like, oh shit, sorry.
Theory. He's just. You
Theory.
know what's the? There's this YouTube channel called Film Theory where they say that's just a theory, a film theory.
Yeah.
I can't
I know,
believe they
actually.
did not do. That's just a theory, a wrestling theory.
They need to have
They can't say wrestling.
Okay, hang on. I've got a faction suggestion for you. They should have Theory, Riddle, and Mysterio. Because these are all just like a mysterious. There's a riddle, a theory, and a mystery all wrapped up into one here.
And you have Sami Zayn, the conspiracy.
What? Yes, there you go. Shit, man. Well, yeah. And if they bring back Rob Conway, then you've got the Con. You know.
There you go.
Yeah. It's all the pieces of that. No, okay. So like, Pat McAfee, I thought wrestled a really good match.
Yeah.
Like.
He was ready.
Yeah, and it's like when you think of even like Brock like botching the shooting star press at Mania, like the pressure of it being in a match. Obviously McAfee is like wrestled like 3 times before ever maybe.
Yeah.
For him to do like the backflip and then like the Kurt Angle, well not even the Kurt Angle would run up and then suplex. He sort of like leapt
To the
up.
top, and it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it was like RVD stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah. He was like, do you know what? The best,
Celebrity.
best by far.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think like anyone like
You had the guy from Arrow.
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, and like he had at All In a fairly good match with Christopher Daniels as well.
You know what? I can't even say anything. Logan Paul. He was pretty good.
He was
Yeah.
like he was doing like buff blockbusters and
Yeah.
like I'm not
And
gonna
he
lie,
looked like
the three amigos. He looked
yeah.
like I bet both him and Mysterio felt that because it flipped over so fast.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah,
2 good celebs. So.
yeah. Cool. Right, let's move on. Like time has got away, but like, is there anything else from like this week to react to? Because obviously we went back a little bit. I'm just trying to see if there's any breaking news headlines, because there usually is.
MVP now with Omos.
Yeah, that's a waste. I get why they've done it, because he needs a talking. He needs a mouthpiece. But the Hurt Business was so good that, like, and it was so short-lived, and it's like they could have built upon this, and they broke it up twice, and then they've even broken up Lashley, and like MVP improved the Lashley package because Lashley has been back for like 3 years or something, or 4 years, I forget. But like until he was with MVP, it wasn't working.
Does this mean Leo's coming back?
Well, okay, so like that worked to a degree, but I don't think he will. But as long as Lana isn't coming back to be with Lashley, you know. Oh wow! Right. Anyway, let's do something a bit silly and fun just before we wrap things up here today. So I'm gonna do some questions today, and I'm gonna improvise these questions because I haven't planned them. But I'm gonna get the inspiration, taking a cue from Corey's book. I have here the World Wrestling Entertainment Trivia book. I also have a WWE sticker album from last year, and I have the 2001 Pro Wrestling Illustrated Almanac. So this is going to be the source of the inspiration for my questions. So, for the first question, so remember to buzz in, guys, for the first question. Okay, so, what wrestler famously, during their entrance, would have wibbly wobbly, wavy, inflatable... Yes, Gav, you were first.
Bailey.
It is Bailey. Boom. Okay, so next one, I'm going to need 5 answers. I'm going to need to have like full 5 answers for this. Name 5 wrestlers who have broken their necks during their career. 5 wrestlers who've had broken necks. Who thinks they can take this? Okay, TJ?
Kurt Angle.
1.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
2.
Brock Lesnar.
Did Brock break his neck?
He did when he did the Shooting Star Press.
I don't think he broke it.
I don't think he broke his neck. He didn't have to relinquish the title.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Gav, I will hand it over to you. Can you name the remaining 3?
Big E.
Big E? Yeah?
I can't think of anyone else.
Really? Okay, so off the top of my head, didn't who had like neck?
Us.
Yeah, go on, TJ.
Bryan Danielson. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and like did Chris Benoit break his neck, or was it that he broke someone's neck? Because he was the crippler. Didn't he even like break Sabu's neck? And didn't Lita have a broken neck? And Paige. Edge, like I was going to say there's loads. Okay, so moving on, we're going to do another name 5, and this one might be too easy. Name 5 Samoan wrestlers. Oh, TJ just in there.
Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, Rikishi, Samoa Joe.
Okay, good.
Yoko.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. Name 2 Samoan wrestlers who are not related to the Anoa'i family. Gav.
I'm going to get that wrong straight away. Haku, I was going to say.
Oh, do you know what? That's a fair point. Is he though? I don't know.
I think he's Tongan, but.
Oh yeah. So like the Tonga kid, yeah. Well, because it's a little bit of a trick question because I don't 100% know. TJ, do you have an answer?
I do.
Go on.
Samoa Joe and Yokozuna.
Yokozuna is part of the Anoa'i family.
He is?
Yeah, 100%. Like he is like cousins and everything with like Roman and Rock and so on and so forth.
Is Umaga part of the Anoa'i family?
Yeah. Umaga definitely was.
And Rosie as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, because like this, the reason I asked this question, this is why I didn't have an answer for you beyond Samoa Joe, because I remember an interview from a few years ago where apparently Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe met, and I think it was an interview with Joe, and it was like they have like business because Samoa Joe is such an outsider that he's like the only Samoan wrestler not from that like family tree line. But yeah. Okay, moving things on.
Lena?
Who's that?
Lena.
Ooh, I don't know actually. I don't know.
I know she's related to Superfly, but obviously the daughter, but
That is Superfly related to the
I don't think she...
I don't know. It's a good question. Right, okay, go on.
Superfly is he married someone from the Anoa'i family, I think.
Oh, okay, well, I'll give you the point there, Gav, just because if it's related through marriage, you know.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that'd be like saying, like, you know, Rocky Johnson therefore counts because he's in the family, whereas obviously he's not Samoan. Okay, so, going by the 2001 Pro Wrestling Illustrated Almanac here, it has a section on inactive championships back in the day. And who was the first ever AWA World Heavyweight Champion? Anyone know this? If you know the AWA, I'll give you the clue. It's who you think it would be.
Gagne.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there you go. Vern Gagne. Yeah, first champ. So this is the whole Jeff Jarrett, Cody Rhodes thing again. Like if you're in a territory, make yourself the champ. Okay, we're gonna move on to a different thing. We're gonna go to a different championship as well. Who was so this championship first. WWF Hardcore Champion. First WWF Hardcore Champion. Okay, Gav.
Mick Foley.
Is the correct answer. Here's the question. Now go on to...
Before you... Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Because I just looked up,
You can't look up the answers!
No. I was really curious about the Samoan thing, and I actually found a Samoan who is... You wouldn't believe who this person is, but she's not related to the Anoa'i family. She is Samoan.
Paige? Wow, I never would have guessed. No, go on, who?
Dakota Kai.
Oh,
She's
Wow.
Samoan.
do you know
It's
what?
not
Now I'm
advertised,
thinking
but she's Samoan.
Tamina might not be Samoan. She like her dad's Fiji Islands, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, next one here. Who was... Okay, sorry, I didn't ask the question. So, who did Mankind defeat to become the first WWF Hardcore Champion?
I don't know.
Going once. Going twice. It was a trick question, no one.
Nobody.
Oh,
Nobody,
damn.
yeah, sorry guys. Trick question. So,
Yeah,
moving
it was
on
given
here.
to him by Vince.
Okay, so according to this, no, that's just muddy waters here. Muddy waters. First, when you come to WCW, because it just was the NWA. So, like, wow, according to this, who was the first WCW US champion? This is just, it's going to be impossible to get. Because this is...
Billy Kidman.
Billy Kid, no way. Right, he probably wasn't born back then. Okay, I'm just going to give this as like the trivia fact. The US title that we've got in WWE right now is still the US title that was in WCW. And it's the only title where the lineage has just continued onwards. It's like, yeah, it is continued on. And obviously that came from the NWA US title. But going by this, it says Ric Flair defeated, but it says one from Jimmy Snuka, so I'm not sure if it means Jimmy Snuka or Ric Flair, but either way.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think it would have been Jimmy Snuka then, just because I do remember the answer to this. Who was the first ever WCW Hardcore Champion? Going once, going twice. I'll tell you, it was Brian Knobbs. And if memory serves, wasn't there like a 10-man fight in like a junkyard for it, or like a scrapyard?
I was never a WCW guy, but
Oh man. Okay, I'll jump off to WCW. Let's go. Okay, who was the first ECW World Heavyweight Champion? Anyone know this? Gav?
not Sandman.
Not Sandman.
Bzzz.
Okay, Gav.
RVD.
No, he was like one of the very last. I'll tell you, it was once again, having mentioned him so many times in the last minute, Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, slightly different question here. At the time that Superfly Jimmy Snuka would have become the first ECW World Champion, what was the company's name? Because it was not Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Was
Okay, TJ.
Eastern Championship Wrestling.
It was Eastern Championship Wrestling. Let's see what else we've got here. Moving on. Let's go to another inactive championship. So, God, I don't know, like Universal Wrestling Federation. Couldn't tell you. Screw that. Okay, let's go to something else. Let's just find some statistics. Okay, I'm going to give you some statistics about a wrestler. Let's see if you can figure out who it is. So the wrestler you're trying to figure out, according to this, I thought he was taller. This has to be wrong. These are all wrong. You're never going to get this. I guarantee this is wrong. He's only 6'3". I thought they were taller. 288 pounds. From Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and made their pro debut on August 23rd, 1985. Their birthday, it's the last detail I can give you from this list, is September 1st, 1961.
I have no clue.
No clue. Any stab in the dark? I'll tell you, the biggest clue there probably is New Jersey.
New Jersey, Big Bam Bam Bigelow.
It is Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
well done, well spotted. Let's grab another one or two of these, and then we'll move on to something else. Right, so this wrestler is from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. They made their pro debut in 1995. Their build weight here is 225 pounds, and according to this, they're 6'1". And again, I think all of the heights in this are wrong. Right, okay, TJ.
Was Edge.
No, it's not Edge. Gav.
Christian.
Yes, it's Christian. Such a good stat. Yes, it was so close there. Last one I will give you then. Last one. Let's go to a different page because. Okay, so the last one here. Let's go for God. So many weird names here. Like these are old, obviously. Okay, last one. Now, if Christian is 6'1", this is even more weird. But this person apparently is 6'3", 285 pounds, from Detroit, Michigan, and then it doesn't have their debut or birth date listed. Okay, so that's very little to work with here. Detroit. Basically, you're trying to work out a wrestler from Detroit who was active in 2001.
Mostly machine guns.
Oh no, so that's a tiny bit before their time. I'll give you two more.
Right.
Okay, so their finishing move was similar to a spear, but it wasn't called a spear. Okay, Gav.
Rhino.
Yes, Rhino, there you go. Boom. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do, last couple of rounds, I'm not going to do 20 questions like normal. So I don't know if I've done it on Slam Jam, I've done it on Geek Battle. I'm going to think of a wrestler, and I'm going to give each of you 1 minute, and you can ask me as many yes/no questions in that minute to try to figure out who the wrestler is as you can. So just fire off as many questions. If I don't know an answer, then I'll tell you I don't know, but otherwise I'll try to answer yes or no. Okay, so Gav, you can go first. I am thinking of a wrestler, and you have 1 minute to ask me as many questions to work out who they are as possible.
First question I'm going to ask you is why have we got Geek Battle in Slam Jam?
Well, no, it's just the game. Oh shit, it does. I changed the background. I need to put one that says Slam Jam. Right. Okay. So your minute starts now.
Are they still active?
Yes.
Are they in WWE?
Yes.
Are they the champion in WWE?
Yes.
Are they male? Male?
Yes.
Is he from the Annoy family?
Yes.
Is he Roman Reigns?
Yes, it is. 20 seconds done. Okay, I'll do a couple of these. I didn't know how easy or hard this would be, but yeah, you blasted through that one. TJ. I'm gonna make this one slightly harder, but we can do a couple back and forth. Okay, so TJ, I am thinking of someone. Okay, and your time starts now.
Are they active?
No.
Are they male?
Yes.
Was he mainly known for his work in WWE?
Primarily, but not just that.
Okay. Did he retire in the last 10 years?
No.
Did he retire in the last 15 years?
No.
Did he retire before the 2000? Before the year 2000?
No.
Is he alive?
No.
Is he from Mexico?
No.
Is he from Canada?
No.
Is he from Japan?
No.
Is he from the UK?
No.
Okay. Has he been world champion?
Yes, and that is time. I'm going to hand it over to Gav. So Gav, same person, all of the information that TJ figured out will pass over to you, and it continues for 1 more minute. Go.
Did he die in 2014?
No.
Did he die before that?
Yes.
In the 90s?
No.
2000s?
Yeah, or 2000s to early 2010s, I'm not sure.
Right. And he was world champion?
Yes.
Is he Canadian?
No.
Is he Samoan?
No.
Is he American?
Yes.
No.
God. Did he wear face paint?
No. Say otherwise would mislead, so no.
Did he die 2005?
Or maybe a bit after that. I can't remember the exact year.
Was he a 90s wrestler?
Yes. Oh, that is time. That is time. Okay, I'll tell you now. It was the Macho Man Randy Savage. The Macho Man Randy Savage. Okay, we'll do one more round of this, and then after this, I'll ask you guys to think of someone to challenge me. In fact, you guys can challenge me now, and then I'll do one more round for you, and then we'll wrap things up. So,
Okay.
you got one, TJ?
Yeah. I mean, if it's okay with Gav, I've got someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll have 1 minute to ask you questions, and here I go. Are they male?
Yes.
Are they alive?
Yes.
Are they American?
No.
Are they Samoan?
No.
Are they Japanese?
Yes.
Oh, I'm done. All right. Is it Antonio Inoki?
No.
Is it Minoru Suzuki?
No.
Is it? Oh God. Are they in New Japan Pro Wrestling now?
No.
Is it Shinsuke Nakamura?
What?
Is it Shinsuke?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it is. I got it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So tricky one. Okay. Gav, do you have one to challenge me with?
I've got one, yeah.
Okay, and my time starts now. Are you male?
Yes.
Are you alive?
Yes.
Are you currently active?
No.
Are you American?
No.
Are you British?
No.
Are you Samoan?
No.
Are you Japanese?
No.
Oh God. Are you European?
No.
God, are you Australian?
No.
Were you in WWE ever?
Yes.
Have you been world champion?
No.
Have you been intercontinental champion?
Yes.
Did you wrestle mainly in the 90s?
Yes.
Are you retired?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Mainly in the 90s. Are you Canadian?
Yes.
Are you Bret Hart?
No.
Are you Owen Hart?
No.
Are you Chris Benoit?
No.
Canadian intercontinental champions from Canada. I can't remember anyone. Oh shit, I'm not going to do it. 1 second left. Oh no, I didn't do it. Right, okay.
Oh.
TJ, I'll hand it over to you. So continue on and go.
Have you been world champion?
No.
Are you retired?
Yes.
Did you retire in WWE?
I'm not too sure.
Okay. Are you a part of the Hart family?
No.
Canadian wrestler. Are you Lance Storm?
No.
Were you mainly in the 90s?
Yes.
Did you retire in the 90s?
Yes.
Are you in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Have you always been a mid-carder?
Yes.
Have you been in any non-wrestling role ever since retirement? Like on-screen role?
That is time. So I think I guessed it in the comments. Gav, do you want to tell us who it was?
Yeah. I am the Mountie.
Okay, guys, I'll give you one more round and then we'll wrap things for today. So, Gav, I've got a wrestler for you now. And your time starts again now.
Male?
Yes.
Active?
No.
Retired?
Yes.
Dead?
No.
They've retired in the last 5 years?
Yes.
WWE?
Yes.
Were they a world champion?
Yes.
Are they're not active now, are they?
No.
Retired. Wow. Did they have a big send-off?
Kind of. Not as big as it should have been.
Undertaker?
No. Ten seconds left.
Wow. Oh, it's gone. Off brain fart. I haven't got anything else.
Oh, okay, that is time. I'll hand it straight over to you, TJ. Go.
Okay. Are you American?
Yes.
Are you Kurt Angle?
Yes, I am. Oh, there you go. Boom, got it. Okay, so TJ, I will get one more to challenge you with. And let's see who I have got. Okay. And your time starts now.
Are you active?
Yes.
Are you male?
Yes.
Are you currently in WWE?
No.
Are you in AEW?
Yes.
Have you been a champion in AEW?
Yes.
Are you a current champion in AEW?
Yes.
Are you Samoa Joe?
No.
Are you Hangman Adam Page?
Yes, I am. Ah, I made that too easy.
Okay,
Right.
I have one for both of you.
Okay, I
have one
love
that's-
it. I love it. How's this going to work though? So we both fire questions at you.
I mean, you could do one round each, like.
Yeah,
Let's
okay, that's
go.
fine. Okay, we'll do this like last round unless you want to do another after Gav. We're going at TJ.
Okay, ask me.
Who is?
Sorry?
Who's asking you?
Both of you can, like.
Oh, at the same time.
Okay,
I
okay.
meant like we used to do previously, like one first.
Okay, but let's
you
do it
ask
within the
them.
1 minute. So Gav, let's just we'll handle this. Ready? Go.
Yeah, are you active?
Yes.
Are you male?
Yes.
Are you champion?
No.
Are you in WWE?
Yes.
Have you ever been champion?
No. Not that I can think of.
Are you in the world title picture?
No.
Are you mid card?
Yes.
Are you American?
Yes.
Are you tall?
Yeah, you can say so.
Are you over 6'7"?
I guess. I'm not sure.
Okay,
but
fair
yeah,
enough.
probably. Or maybe just 6 foot.
Are you
5,
Damian
6 foot-
Priest?
Nope.
Are you on Raw?
Yes.
Were you in NXT?
Yes.
Friendly.
Are you Ricochet?
Sorry.
No.
Oh, he's not that tall.
Have you been champion like Intercontinental?
No, probably not. I don't think so.
Have you been NXT champion?
Nope.
Oh god. Are you in a tag team? Sorry, Gav.
Yeah, go on. That's right.
No.
Oh, you're not? Oh, that's wrong.
Okay, I'll just give you one hint. He has only held one championship on the main roster. Just one championship. A specific championship.
Were you 24/7 champion?
Yep.
R-Truth?
Nope.
24/7 champion. Are you Reggie?
Nope.
Are you Drake Maverick? Is he still there?
Nope.
24/7 champion.
7.
Are you Pat McAfee? No, he wasn't that.
Nope.
Are you Corey Graves?
Sorry?
Corey Graves?
Nope.
Brian Saxton?
Nope.
Are you usually a wrestler?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Joe, that's been 2 minutes. We've had 2 minutes. We didn't
Go
get
on,
it.
go on. Like, you're gonna love the answer.
You're gonna love the answer. I'm not sure I am.
Are you black?
Huh?
Are you black?
Nope.
Are you white?
Yep.
Are you American?
Yep.
Are you... Oh, you said 6'5", around about that.
I mean, okay, I'm not exactly sure about the height, but... Oh, no, okay, 6. He's 6 feet.
6
Which,
foot.
again, I find it hard to believe that he's just 6 feet. He cannot be just 6 feet.
I can't even remember who's just one. Well, I'm going to be honest. Probably you're going to say it, and I'm going to be like, I forgot this person's existence if they're in a
Yeah.
24/7 picture.
Are they still there at WWE?
Yep, they're active.
Have they ever
Are they
been
on
in?
every week?
Sorry, go ahead.
What?
Are they on every week?
They have been for some time on every week.
Yeah, I've got. Well, did they
So-
wrestle at WrestleMania?
Nope.
Have they
Were you
ever
part of a
wrestled
tag
on?
team?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Huh?
go ahead.
Were you ever part of a tag team?
Probably not, no. Nothing...
Have you ever had a
memorable.
pay-per-view match?
Yep.
Have you ever been part of a faction?
Nope.
I've not. I'm going to give up in a second, Gav. I've got no idea.
Okay, think of someone super... Okay, I'll give you one hint. So you asked...
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Okay,
Are you Dominic Mysterio?
nope.
Oh.
So one hint that I'll give you is, ever since this person has like so the last time this person made a return, this person hasn't missed a single episode of Raw ever since they have returned. But I'm not gonna say when they have returned. They might have returned like a year ago.
They haven't missed an episode of Raw.
Ever since they returned.
It's not theory, is it?
Nope.
I tap out. I've got no idea.
Gav, do you want to?
Yeah, I'll tap.
Okay, so this person is. Do you want? Okay, so I was talking about Ezekiel, Elias's brother.
What? You're talking about Ezekiel? Oh my! He's never held any title.
There's a 24/7 title.
That's insane.
Wow.
Wow. Awesome. Well, on that note, despite us not getting the last round, Gav, you are this week's Slam Jam champion. So well done. Let's find out where we can find everyone on social media. TJ, where can the people find you?
You can find me in my mom's basement because AEW fan, or you can check out my artwork, which is not always wrestling artwork, on All Elite TJ Ripper on Instagram.
Awesome. Okay, Gav, where can the people find you?
You can find me right here.
Boom.
That's it.
Okay, and my name is David Pstansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky, and I've got all these YouTube channels and different websites and things. I've got the wrong background down, but whatever. So, from me, until next time, stay safe, stay extreme, keep slamming, jamming. Ciao for now. Boom.